Force Academy for today's ASUN Conference lacrosse game between the Cleveland State Vikings and your Air Force Falcons. Now for today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Vikings. Number 2, Carson Berkey. Number 7, Derek Radke. Number 8, Ryan Haig. Number 17, Amiri Austin. Number 22, Gannon Matthews. Number 23, Drayson Sullivan. Number 28, Adam Clark. Number 33, Luke Applegate. Number 45, Zach Tower. And in goal, number 27, Cameron Larkin. Cleveland State's head coach is Andy Jeremy. He's assisted by Trey Keeley and Nate Bruner. Now for the starting lineup for your Air Force Falcons. Number 0, Chad Bruce. Number 17, Chris Barnett. Number 18, Brendan Krause. Number 21, Caden Wilson. Number 25, James Chastain. Number 28, Brian Michael. Number 31, Kyle Griffith. Number 34, Quentin Carlisle. Number 45, Brandon Cobb. And in goal, number 33, Jason Rhodes. Air Force is coached by head coach Bill Wilson. He's assisted by John Thompson, Doug Murray, and Trent Harper. At this time, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
The Air Force Academy lacrosse team hoping to gain ground in the ASUN Conference take on the Cleveland State Vikings. Air Force is currently in third place in the standings, chasing Robert Morris in Utah. Good afternoon from Falcon Stadium here at the United States Air Force Academy. I'm Jeffrey Orman along with Vince Lombardi, a member of the Air Force Academy class of 2021. You're not that far removed from the program, obviously, Vince. Let's talk a little bit about the last 3 games of the season. Would it be safe to say they're all games of the year at this point?
Exactly. Well, thank you for the introduction, Jeffrey. And we got a beautiful day here for Air Force Lacrosse at Falcon Stadium. A little bit windy, but we'll look for the Falcons to get up early on Cleveland State. They're coming off a loss against Utah and Bellarmine, 0-2 loss there, both 15-11. And the Falcons coming off of a hot win against Detroit Mercy, but then their loss against Utah. So we look for them to get after Cleveland State early. We look for, as you talked about in the pregame, we were chatting a little bit, the Brandon show. What do we look to see from them today?
Well, I'll tell you what, and also a guy that I think has really, as a matter of fact, he was the ASUN Defensive Player of the Week, and Jason Rose, and he seems to be playing a lot better in the goal, about almost a 54% save rating right now. I'll double check that. But I think right now everything's got to come together, Vince, and you just got to, they get a shot at Robert Morris. I have a feeling that head coach Bill Wilson hasn't even brought that up. You got to get this one.
Exactly, and every game matters at this point. You're just taking it week by week. You just want to win the week. You're not going to look past any opponent here in the A-Sun. You want to get the most wins possible to get that higher seed, possibly looking at a 2 seed after dropping that 1 to Utah. Another guy that we talk about, Quentin Carlisle, leading the team, 25 caused turnovers, 32 ground balls, just an absolute machine on that defense end.
And here we go with the opening face-off, as the Air Force Academy Falcons have won 47, almost 48% of the face-off this year, as opposed to 44, 45% for Cleveland State. And taking a quick look at the team matchups, 11 goals per game, 11.73 points goals per game for Air Force as opposed to 11. And we already mentioned the face-off, and so we will see how things transpire here. I think the goalie play obviously is going to be very, very big. Ground balls, Air Force has that advantage as well. So on paper, could be a tight match, but the 2 victories that the Vikings have had over the Falcons have been by 1 goal. So we'll look for a fairly tight match, but right now everything is big, Vince. Every single play and every execution has got to be done properly if the Falcons are going to, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, try to stay in position for that playoff spot in Huntsville, Alabama in the A-Sun Conference postseason.
That's right, and Cleveland State is a fairly new program. We've had 4 matchups with them. We're 2-2 against them. Honestly, they may not have gained, and there's a little dive shot.
They're going to say
They're
no
going to wave it off, landing in the arc. And so, like I said, they were 2-2 with our meetings against them, looking to get up 3-2 on them today. But they may not be a team that gained the respect from the whole Division I, but they have my respect. I'm 1-2 against them in my career, so they definitely have my respect. They're sneaky, and they look to capitalize on what do we got going on down there? A little scrum. Air Force comes up with the possession. Jason Rose.
Looks like we had about 3 players around the Viking player as Air Force comes up the field.
But yeah, they're definitely a team that looks to get after loose ball advantages and just like coming off of a scrum or fast break opportunities and stuff like that. 6v6, I think I like the Falcons, but if they start running up and down and fast breaks and guys lose track of their man, we could see a tight game here.
Yeah, we could indeed. Air Force moving from north to south, left to right here at Falcon Stadium at the United States Air Force Academy. And they used to play on what is now the old Lacrosse practice field. That used to be the home site, and then they've moved over here to Falcon Stadium. I have to ask, Vince, the wind factor today. Right now in this period, it'll be blowing against the Falcons. How much of a difference will that make?
So not too much of a difference in the game of lacrosse. I feel like you got that heavy rubber ball, but definitely when you see them running fast breaks from left to right from our point. Ooh, nifty little behind the back shot from Brandon Dodd. I'll call him Big Papa. But, yeah, no, definitely going from right to left, we're going to see some more fast break. We're going to see guys have fresh legs running down that way, and then they're going to be facing the wind running the other way. But with the ball factor, not too much. Maybe a little bit of wind in Jason Rowe's eyes right now, making him tear up or something like that, but nothing too crazy.
Falcons on the attack. This one goes wide. And possession goes to the Vikings of Cleveland State. Want to say a special hello to those of us that might be watching our streaming on Euclid Avenue, which I believe is where the campus is located. And we also want to give a special, especially on this Easter weekend, a very special hello to the parents and friends of our lacrosse team here, some who may not have been able to make the trip. But as we look into the stands, not a bad crowd on hand. So happy Easter to one and all, and time to get the W. That would be the best thing for the Air Force Academy Falcons right now. Cleveland State on the attack. Here is Derek Radke, a senior out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Yeah, and for Cleveland State offense, you look at number 8, Ryan Haig. He's leading the team in shots and goals right now with 26 points and actually 25 goals. So you look at that, he's their guy. The guy has 26 points and only 1 assist, he's the guy taking all the shots. He's got 63 shots on the year so far, so he's their guy sitting over there at attack.
Jason Sullivan, number 23, and Cannon Matthews, number 22, also part of that offense for the Vikings of Cleveland State. But of course, we've already mentioned the two main cogs in the attack for the United States Air Force Academy. Now, a little pressure being put on by that Viking defense. So if you're the Vikings right now, Vince, are you focusing on 18 and 45? You can't, can you possibly cover both?
And as you mentioned, number 45 just drops one, making it look easy in the back of the net.
And there you go. And so the Falcons get on the scoreboard first.
Brandon Dodd unassisted, a little lefty leaner. How you doing?
And the Falcons take a 1-0 lead. That's goal number 33 on the year. So the Falcons get on the board first.
A little bit of sloppy lacrosse, honestly, to start. They went back and forth a little bit. It was kind of looking like a track meet out there, not necessarily lacrosse. But we like that Air Force puts one down early.
Well, you'll take the finish, that's for sure, right?
That's right. And a nice win by there. Brian Michael, another Long Island guy. I am a fellow Long Island guy, so you'd love to see that.
Now, being from Long Island has New York recognized New Jersey as a state yet? Is that?
I mean, I feel like they just try and mimic us. People say they got better pizza, better bagels, but it's nothing but nonsense. They just try and be us all the time. So, not necessarily yet. Ooh, sniper up in the stands, and a nifty little back check by number 2, Carson Berkey. He's actually the leading defenseman with caused turnovers, and we see another one there. That was a nifty little check he threw on Brendan Krause.
Yeah, drop cross, but Falcons lead it by the score of 1-0 on the goal by Brandon Dodd, and here we go. I think the Falcons would like to. So you played against Cleveland State. Vince, what do they like to do? Is this a team that likes to attack? It looks like they focus a lot on defense from what we've seen here in the early going.
Right. Like I said in the beginning, they're a team that likes to focus on a lot of unsettled stuff. So those loose ground balls that are coming up, they want to sneak towards the net and kind of get you distracted, maybe lull you to sleep a little bit, and then get after it. Definitely take advantage of fast break opportunities and stuff like that. Try and catch you off guard. Not necessarily too excellent in their 6v6, as we see Quentin Carlisle come up with another ground ball there, gets it up right away and intercepted. Actually, as a turnover by the Air Force defense.
Not what you want to do. They can't, the thing about it is you don't want to play lax. I know the record's 3-7 for the Vikings and 6-5 for Air Force, but it means nothing at this point. It means nothing at this point. Time is too short. You've got about 3 games left before the tournament begins, and you want to be in position. Remember, the first 4 teams in the ASUN Conference. Nice stop there by Rose, and he'll throw the outlet pass. I guess throw the outlet pass would be right. And here come the Falcons.
Yeah, and like you said, Cleveland State being out of the coaches' picks, they were in the number 6 in the ASUN, and the team, they're 3-7 right now. But a team like that is scary. You can't sleep on a team like that. You can never look past an opponent, because that's when you all of a sudden drop a game to a 3-7 team, and now you're looking at must-win victories for the rest of the year, and that's not what you want for Air Force.
Falcons really can't do anything with Utah unless they get a little bit of help, but they won't be looking at that. They just got to focus on this one, and then probably their next big game will be against Robert Morris on the road, where, by the way, the Falcons have performed quite well away from the friendly confines of Falcon Stadium, as they're 4-3. But right now, first things first. Falcons leading as you see the time remaining in period number 1. I'm Jeffrey Orman along with Vince Lombardi. And Cleveland State trying for the equalizer here, but the Falcon defense appears to be tightening up. Trying to ride them off to the right side. Now they go behind the net.
Now we see Jason Sullivan setting up behind number 23. See what he can get going for the Cleveland State offense.
Again, still trying to set it up.
And here's, oh, that's number 7. Derek Radke behind the net on number 12, Tommy Hellman. He's a short stick defensive midi, but he plays like a long stick defensive midi. I mean, nice save. Not you, fat Jesus.
Good knock away, and here we go. Everybody hacking and whacking at the balls. It gets loose, and Air Force comes up with it. Here comes Air Force on the carry. Falcons trying. Well, there's a trip. Are we going to see a flag? Well, that surprises me a little bit there, Vince. I thought we might see a flag on that. Looked like an apparent trip, but
Cole Grimberg getting aggressive on that offensive threat.
They're trying a shot from point blank. Nothing doing there.
Makes sense. Cole Grimberg was a guy, he's played every position on that field except for goalie. He's played attack, midi, defensive midi, and now we see him at long stick midi in a timeout here by Air Force.
And that will come with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the first period. Air Force leads it 1-0 over Cleveland State. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse on Falcon Vision. There you get a look at the A-Sun Conference Defensive Player of the Week last week. 11 saves against Detroit Mercy. That is Jason Rose. We had the timeout. What was Bill Wilson saying to his team, Vince?
So he's probably just saying a little bit of sloppy play right now. Let's just settle down, take a deep breath, focus on clearing the ball. That's a big thing for Air Force. When in our locker room, we have our statistics hanging on a whiteboard, and you always want to clear above 90%. And we saw 1, maybe 2 turnovers here already in the first quarter, which is not what you want to see. You want to clear the ball every chance you can with maybe 1 or 2 fails a game, and we were already looking at 1 or 2 in the first quarter. So that's not good. And then we want to ride back. We want to ride back on when they're clearing the ball and get some second chance opportunities just to get back in this game and just settle down 6v6. And we look a little rushed. We're forcing it on the fast break. And when we're early in the possessions, we just want to eat the shot clock up and take advantage of that.
Mass pile up in front of the goal there.
That's going to be a blatant push in the back. That's going to be a Cleveland State ball. Something you don't want to do in front of the net.
Don't want to draw a flag either, so. So here we go. Cleveland State reloading and coming on the attack. As you see, about 5 minutes and change left here in period number 1, and suddenly Cleveland State playing on the Air Force side of the field.
And number 17, Christopher Bardak, has a short stick in his hand. That is something new that I have not seen yet. He normally plays long stick defensive midi, so interesting to see that.
All right, again, some tight defense. Good checking
Shad Bruce
by Air Force. He was getting right up in the grill
Shad
of that.
Bruce!
Oh, he just made a steal. Ball goes, did they go back to Cleveland State, or are they going to wave it? Watching the official. Watch Chad Bruce, who you're probably going to see in the upper corner. He's Chad Bruce 0. Look at that.
Getting a little bit high. He's playing like a man among boys, but looks like he caught him a little bit high there. They're going to call him for a cross check 1 minute. Sit him, take a knee down in the penalty box. Cleveland State man up opportunity here.
So let's see if they'll be able to take advantage. I think they're about it. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I'll look for a confirmation. Probably about 29%. Actually, As you mentioned, they're a fairly new program. We have a little stoppage of play right now.
Yeah, it looks like they gave him a minute in the box. Shot Bruce down there. So when you look at the Air Force team, as you look towards the left side of that sideline here, right before they go on man up, you see a lot of injuries, and you got to give a shout out to all the surgeons, Dr. Robbins, Dr. Jones, and especially our trainer Gene, probably the best trainer in Division I lacrosse, with hands down. I wouldn't have touched the field again if it wasn't for her after my knee injury. So you got to give a shout out to them. They're working hard this season with all those injuries. So just put my hands together for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe the unsung heroes, Vince, of any sports team. Here's a wide shot, and it goes awry. Ball is still on the ground, and again, Cleveland State in possession. I think Air Force would like to get out of this side of the field and start playing on the Cleveland side a little bit. Another one goes awry.
Jason Rose playing like a brick wall out there in front of the net.
Well, he had 11 saves against Detroit Mercy last week. We've already talked about his post-week honors. Second time this year that he's won Defensive Player in ASUN, and apparently he's picking up right where he left off last week. Air Force dropping back in what appeared to be almost like a 3-2.
There goes Quentin Carlisle again, just making it look easy. Just making it look too easy out there.
Big play for Air Force, and let's see if they can capitalize on this trip down the field.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. We just got to settle into the 6v6 offense and not rush it. It's just not. We just had a big stop, man down on defense, and you look for the offense just to settle it down and take control of the game, and that's not what happened there.
And we'll talk about a little bit about that 66 defense that you just mentioned. Trying, I think, to maybe get the ball to Jason Sullivan. The first time we've had a chance to really call his name, one of the leading scorers for Cleveland State. And right now it's just, I guess, a sense of being patient as they will just kind of play catch out there. A little bit about the 66, Vince. For a lot of people who may not know what that alignment is about, maybe we can have you explain that a little bit.
So the 6v6, that's just when it's settled offense. Just once the ball gets in, each team has made their substitutions, and we have a full 6v6 offense versus defensive set. Versus when, say we bring the ball down right now really quick, it's a little unsettled, and there's another almost fail. Good recovery by James Chastain. So like right now, if we were to push, it's maybe a little unsettled. People are subbing. Maybe we catch them off guard. We get a guy that gets in early. But once we get our subs on here, and it looks like it's going to be at midfield, we got Robbie Leonetti, Chase Douglas, and the fourth coming on is going to be Dante Orlando for our midi line in this set. So now, as we start to settle in, take a deep breath, this is our 6v6 set right here.
All right, and just under 2 minutes in the first period. Cleveland State 0 for 1 with the man down opportunity, so nothing, they were not able to capitalize on that. So here come the Falcons working the ball around the perimeter. Now let's see what kind of a setup they want to do, if they want to try and get one in close. I'm looking at, we have a...
Looks like a flag down we got here.
Okay, well, the official is talking to one of the
55,
Falcon players.
Chase Douglas.
Who's he chatting to there? Stalling.
Looks like it's going to be a delay of game call.
Yep, 30 seconds.
So that's a problem I see with Air Force right now. By the time that I said this is our 6v6 set right here, the shot clock was all the way down to 30 seconds. We didn't start our 6v6 possession until 30 seconds left on the shot clock. And there's 80 seconds on the reset, 20 to get it over the midfield line. Then you normally have about 60 seconds. So we're taking a full 30 to get our whole set out there, our whole offensive set. That's not ideal for the Falcons right now. You want to get as much of that shot clock possession as possible to wear down that defense.
So we'll have a 30-second call here against the Falcons as the Vikings try to take advantage. Low-scoring affair thus far in the first period. This ASUN Conference battle. Falcons currently in third position in the ASUN Conference, chasing Robert Morris and Utah. They might have had a look there. There's an attempt.
That's going to get him a fresh 60 seconds on that shot clock.
It went high and wide, and as we mentioned before, Jason Rose playing very strong inside the goal today. Just about ready to wrap up period number 1. I'm Jeffrey Orman along with Vince Lombardi.
Here's Tommy Hellman.
Let's see what how Air Force. There's a loose ball. It's going to be picked up by Air Force, so the ground ball goes to them. Here's a carry down the field. Could we have a one-on-one? Possibly. He's going to dish to the left. Oh. And a shot that went wide. Almost a nice transition. Couldn't quite finish, Vince.
That's right. We got a fresh 60 seconds on the shot clock, and here's Griffith. Bang. Hammers one home. A howitzer to the top right shelf. I'd say that's where Mom used to hide the cookies, that top right shelf right there. And he found it. He didn't waste any time finding that right there.
All right, so number 31, that is Kyle Griffith. He is a freshman for this Air Force Academy Falcon lacrosse team. And that is his 15th goal of the 2022 campaign.
That's right, and just a routine step down, tucks it away, top right.
Face-off going to Air Force. They are now 3-0 in face-off opportunities. 5 seconds. Let's see if they'll take a desperation shot right here. Nope, probably not, as time expires here in period number 1. At the end of 1 quarter of play, Air Force leads Cleveland State 2-0. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse. This is Falcon Vision. Getting ready to start quarter number 2. Jeffrey Orman along with Vince Lombardi here at Falcon Stadium of the United States Air Force Academy. Air Force leading by the score of 2-0. Vince, are you kind of surprised by how low the scoring is in this early going?
So I'm not surprised with the defensive play for Air Force. Just absolutely Jason Rose playing like a brick wall out there. Quentin Carlisle doing his thing. You know, we talked about him earlier, having 25 caused turnovers already on the season. So I'm not surprised in that aspect. What I am surprised in is Brandon Dodd not settling down the offense a little bit. So when we see them make a stop on defense and bring it on that offensive end, normally you see the poise in Brandon Dodd, and he takes control. He says, hey, fellas, let's settle down. Defense just got to stop. Now let's hammer one home for them. So look for them to settle it down here and have more possession time in this second quarter here. But, yeah, I was a little surprised by the offensive output for the Falcons.
For the Falcons, it has been Dodd and Griffith scoring for the blue and silver. And we'll take a look at some quick stats here in just a bit. That's, by the way, that face-off violation, first time that the Vikings have gotten the face-off, and they are in position moving from left to right, as you see. That's north to south. And, of course, now they're playing into the wind here at Falcon Stadium.
And Christopher Bardak, number 17, as I mentioned earlier, he had a short stick in his hand earlier. Now he's got his long stick back in his hand. So for a guy to do that in a game, to just get used to playing with 6 feet versus that short stick, like, that's such a difference, but that just shows the type of guy that he is. Of course, he's a Long Island guy, a blue-collar guy, but he's doing whatever his team needs him to do. He'll play short stick D-midi, long stick D-midi. He'll play goalie. He'll do anything for the team to get a win.
And you love having guys like that, don't you, Vince, because you know you can stick them anywhere.
That's right, and another guy like that is number 12, Tommy Hellman. It's actually funny about Tommy Hellman. He sleeps in the locker room the night before the game just to make sure nobody messes with his stuff. He's very particular and in that sort of sense. But, yeah, and he also he paints the lines on the field. He polishes the balls off before the game. So he's just a guy that does it all. Checks the tire pressure. Brandon Dodd. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I mentioned earlier he was going to settle down. He was going to take control. He did. You saw him carry it out there, take control, and then just that lefty leaner twice in one game. A little deja vu for the Cleveland State goalie right there.
Second goal of the day for Brandon. Of course, the Falcons now lead it by the score of 3-0. So pretty much as expected, the Falcons getting Brandon Dodd, who's got one more year here at the Air Force Academy, as we have the face-off. And they bump, they bang. We got a ground ball. Let's see who's going to claim it. Looks like Air Force has it. Little push from behind, no call. Probably wasn't flagrant enough.
Looks like we got a timeout by Cleveland State. A good timeout by the Cleveland State coach there. You see a little unsettled. You don't know who's going to pick the ball up. You get possession for a second, and it looks like there's defenders swarming around him. You call a timeout and settle down.
And with Air Force leading at 3-0, we'll take a timeout as well. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse on Falcon Vision.
That's the biggest part of the game, too.
There's a look at Shad Bruce, 0 for the Air Force Academy Falcons. Made a good defensive play. Falcons leading it by the score of 3-0. Shots on goal in favor of Air Force 6-3. Ground balls 11-6 Air Force. Face-off Air Force by 1-3-2. And in clears 7-6 Air Force. And Cleveland State has had an opportunity to play with a man up. They have yet to convert. So here we go. And that's where we stand here in the second period of play. Cleveland State on the attack.
Rose.
Jason Rose coming out of the box. They're chasing him almost into the corner of the end zone here before he throws it.
That's not what you want right there.
That was a bad pass, and that was just like picking a pocket right there.
So right there, I love when Jason Rose does that. He sneaks around behind the net, but it becomes risky. Just take a step out of bounds. You just threw the ball into the middle of the field with an empty net. That's not what you want to see by Jason Rose.
Adam Clark scoring for the Vikings here in the second period of play. That was just Jason Rose getting out of the goal and making a play and trying to find somebody, and it was just one of those, like an interception being run back for a score. But shake it off and let's move on. Once again, the face-off. Getting a good look.
Another face-off win by Brian Michael. Love to see it.
And I think you were saying, Vince, a little bit earlier that this is such a huge part of the game as Shad Bruce getting it and firing around. The face-off, the X factor, if you will. I don't know, but I mean, huge in this game.
That's right, yeah. It has become a big part of the game. So you look at teams that have a dominant face-off guy, like a couple of years ago, Trevor Baptiste at Denver. Like, it was so hard to play against them when he was winning every single face-off. As a defense, you're just getting exhausted, and then the offense loses their mojo, too, because they're not even touching the ball sometimes.
Falcons trying to counter after that last score.
West Peen.
And here is a shot that goes high. And let's see the official pointing in the direction of the Falcons, I believe. And he is. So Air Force will try to penetrate. There's a shot, and he tried to shoot that one through traffic.
Yeah, that was a desk pop and a half right there.
Jake Merrick letting fly with that one, it appeared. And
it looks like they got the Peen line out there, West Peen, Gavin Peen. And their fourth is Max Griffith.
So the Falcons setting up behind the goal here in the second period of play.
10 seconds left on the shot clock here, short time. Feed inside by Brandon Dodd. Looks like it was mucked up by Cleveland State.
50-50 ball, and is it still in play? It is. It's still loose, still a 50-50 ball. Who comes away with it? Looks like it is going to be the Vikings, and trying to weave through traffic. Crossfield pass.
And just like I said earlier, that's what Cleveland State wants to do right there. They want to capitalize in these unsettled opportunities and fast breaks and stuff like that. And their 2 goals have come from that. So
let's see. That is number 28 who is getting, that's Adam Clark with his second one of the day. So the Falcons, after jumping off to a 3-0 lead, Vince, have surrendered the last 2 goals to the Vikings. So far we've had a game of mini runs right now. Once again, the face-off position. And it is Air Force in control.
Another win by Brian Michael.
They've got to be, Falcons trying to look for get some offense going. There is Bruce that works it off to the right side.
Looks like they're coming back to that offensive line with Chase Douglas. And it looks like Stephanie, the other freshman, coming in here, number 14, and then Dante Orlando, number 4. So a different midfield line than the Peen brothers with Griffith.
Substitutions coming in.
Or I'm sorry, the other lines with Tolan. He was just down low.
There's a nice reversal. And Air Force with a shot. They try to go low. Lots of bodies in front of the net. They are still scrambling. And dropping right on it is the goalie as he just pounced on that like a loose ball, which it was. And that is number 27, Cameron Logan, senior out of North Canton, Ohio. Logan on the year, 52% save percentage, if you will. Well, it's starting to get interesting now, isn't it? Little momentum shift, and you'd have to say it's probably going to the Vikings right now.
It is, but we still haven't seen a 6v6 goal from the Vikings. Just like I said, it's all been unsettled. So, like, it's those loose, scrappy opportunities that they've taken advantage of. I really am not, and I stand corrected. There's another 6v6 goal.
And
just like, looks like miscommunication. Guy left open on the crease. Number 29, Gavin Held. Good little finish there.
so Gavin Held ties this thing up at 3. First 3 scored by Air Force, last 3 by the Vikings. And it's a brand new game at the 9:43 spot here before the intermission.
And so I'm kind of eating my words. I talked about how important the X was. Brian Michael's winning a lot of these faceoffs, yet we see a 3-0 run by Cleveland State. So eating my words up. Brandon Dodd.
Brandon Dodd, that ball was a little bit high, and the goalie comes down with it for the Vikings. Cameron Logan making a nice play. Work that ball on the backside.
Look for Air Force to cause a turnover here on the clear.
Let's see if they can.
There it is.
Good call. Good call.
And there's that kid, Chris Bardak, number 17, playing with the short stick in his hand. And just a slop. Oh, little interference call there. And they're not going to Blow the whistle for that one.
And I'll tell you what, it looks like some whistles are being swallowed today.
That's right. Yeah, I was surprised about that one right there. Brendan Krause took one off the shoulder. He wasn't even. Cleveland State was in possession with the ball.
Had a couple of penalties today. Of course, that forced the man-up situation for the Vikings, but for the most part, they're just kind of letting them go at it out there. It's interesting that I think both of the penalties have just been the technical foul, the 30-second variety. I think we had 1 minute and 1:30, I think, if I'm
right. We had a delay game and then a cross-check.
Correct.
Up high.
So here is Cleveland State trying to go ahead for the first time today. They're on a 3-goal run.
And I don't even see Ryan Haig on the field for Cleveland State, number 8, their leading goal scorer, so that's interesting to see.
Now, here is a shot that Rose scoops up. Another save by him as he deflected that one by Gannon Matthews. Air Force on the carry, comes downfield, trying to get it in front of the goal. And once again, good play in the net. Is that man Cameron Logan. We're going to be starting to talk about him quite a bit. He's made some plays today.
That's right. And I'm gonna have to say that Bill Wilson calls a timeout here soon after all this sloppy play because, I mean, we're having great defensive stands and then we're bringing on offensive end and just turn it right over. You don't want to see that.
First 3 goals by Air Force, next 3 by the Vikings. That's where we stand right here. 7:22 left before the intermission of this very important ASUN conference matchup. Falcons 1-1 in ASUN play. Here we go as they try to get setting up on the backside.
Chris Bardak with the shorty in his hand again.
Try to get close.
Tommy Helm will close out there.
Good play by the D. They're really sticking on him on that one. There's a shot, and it's knocked away by Rose.
Oh, you got to give that White. That's right. That's a hustle play right there.
And I think the official went flying on that as well. So Jason says, pardon me, sir. And watch this if we can see this. Watch Jason Rose. Second time he's gone out of that. Watch to the right of your picture. And whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. Down goes Frazier.
John Domenico.
Yeah. That's the second time Jason Rose has come out. This time it worked. And so now the Falcons with the time remaining.
Looks
in
like
a very low scoring affair.
Looks like the Peen line out there. So we talk about, so actually at halftime we're going to have a little interview with Quincy Peen if y'all want to stay tuned in after the halftime recap. But you look at the Peen brothers, they've had 4 brothers come through the program. Griffin Peen graduated 2020. Quincy Peen graduated 2021. Little bouncer missed wide right there by Aiden Tolan. And then we have Gavin Peen will graduate 2023, and then Wes Peen will graduate 2025.
My goodness.
So the whole Peen family, and they're all huge. Wes Peen coming in about like 6'5", like 6'4", 240, just a monster, and they're all that big. And actually at the Peen Thanksgiving dinner, they actually all get a turkey for themselves. And even Grandma Peen is like drinking a Boost protein shake at the table. They're just all putting on mass.
Putting on the weight there, you know. And speaking of the Peens, Gavin Peen out of Ridgewood, New Jersey. Picking up the ball and reloading on the offense. I guess if you go to the Peen's family house for a meal, you better not be last.
No, that's right. The food goes quick there.
Here's an opportunity, ground ball, and Peen, I think, trying to set it up. Now they go to the center of the cage.
Gavin
trying
Peen,
to get close. There's a shot and a score.
Nifty little inside move shot goal. Full send by 2-4. Gavin Peen. My goodness. We got live action.
There you go. Now the Falcons go back on top, 4-3. As you see, Gavin Peen. Take a look at this nice move. It was just outside the crease there, and he was able to find an open spot and knocked it home. Falcons lead it by the score of 4-3. Again, back to the X, where Air Force has a 6-2 lead. A 6-2 advantage, or did, or does. 6-3 now. Let's see what the Falcons can do here. Again, I think it's going to be a game of runs. You've just got we've had a 3-goal run by Air Force, likewise for the Vikings, and
an easy clear by Cleveland State there. Not much pressure by Air Force.
Falcons tightening up. I'll go work behind the net now.
We're seeing a lot of different guys play on defense today. Now we got, looks like number 44, Daniel Enoch at LSM for us. Love to see the numbers out there. Everyone getting a touch on the field. Here's number 42, Christian Marshall on the ball. On 17, Amiri Austin setting up here.
Tried to set a pick for him there. Now they let fly, and there's a shot and a score, and that should be number 22. That is Gannon Matthews. First time we've had a chance to call his number, one of the top guns, if you will, for Cleveland State. And guess what, folks? We got a tie match at 4-4.
Right, it took him a little bit of time to find the stat sheet there, but not surprised to see him based on his numbers in his season so far. He's the second leader, 62 shots on goal.
And he's got his 16th goal of the year. It's a tight one, folks. Very physical face-off.
Chris Bardak with the long stick again. You never know which one he's going to come out with.
And there is an opportunity for Air Force to try and get something going. But once again, good play in the net by Logan, Cameron Logan. And Cleveland State comes the other way.
And I'm going to go ahead and say that in the second half, you won't see much shots off of fast breaks anymore. I mean, like, it's just we're turning the ball over way too quick. We get a possession. We fight for it up there at the face-off X. Get a possession, and we just give it right back to them. That's not what you want to see.
So on the attack.
Jacob Lubrin here on the left side. 55, feeds it down low.
Let's see if he's going to try anything here. Now they're going to try and get in close. Air Force trying to knock that ball away. There's a shot.
Tommy Hellman's got fresh legs here.
Yes, he does, and it's a 50-50 ball. Hellman picking it up. Air Force with an opportunity, and there was a shot. I think that was Kraus who let fly. And again, well, if there's been a key in this second quarter, you got to show the love for Cameron Logan, that Viking goalie. Now he's going to carry it.
You do have to show love. You're right on that. But as I was just saying, and it looks like a little offsides.
All right, that'll be a 30.
Oh, and he's going to, I stand corrected.
Did they wave
Far
it
side ref is going to wave that off.
Okay.
But like I said, I mean, I literally was just talking about it. We get a stop on defense. Jason Rose stands on his head once again, and then we just give it right back to the Cleveland State offense. I mean, I know Brandon Dodd is the guy that we want taking that shot there, but high to high, he saw that thing the whole way. So, yeah, you do got to give credit to Cleveland State goalie right now.
Getting close to the 2-minute mark here in the first half of play. And as Vince mentioned a little bit earlier, we will have a very special guest at halftime. And here's a shot and a score.
Cleveland State's going to take their first lead of the day.
Yep.
Number 7, Derek Raddick there. Or Radke.
Radke with the score. Wow.
Just about 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. Surprising. And, you know, I mentioned at the beginning of the game, you don't want to look past the team. And are we seeing that right now by the Air Force Falcons a little bit? I don't know.
At 3-7, it might be easy to do that. They do play Robert Morris, but it'd be interesting to see what Coach Wilson has to say to the Falcons at the intermission. They just can't afford to fall. They don't want to fall out of the first 4 spots.
Right, and I can't assume that it's anything too nice. And another sloppy turnover by the Air Force on the clear.
And it looked like you can't in sports. You can't just throw your equipment out there and think you're going to win it. But I think a lot of this Cleveland State team, we talked a lot about Cameron Logan, and he's just played a solid game in the pipes. And Air Force right now, they've just got to shake off this first half, or at least try to generate some offense and get back in this fight. Can't afford to let anybody get a big run the way this thing is shaping up right now. It's the proverbial getting to feel it after a while. Now we have what? We have a stoppage of play.
Looks like a timeout by Cleveland State, so they can
right.
set up their offense here.
So with 62 seconds left to play in the first half, Cleveland State leads Air Force by the score of 5-4. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse. This is Falcon Vision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you didn't mute your TVs for this halftime interview we have here. I'm Vince Lombardi, joined here by Second Lieutenant Quincy Peen. We got a 5-4 lead Cleveland State against the Falcons at halftime. What do you think about the game so far, Quincy?
Yeah, it's great to be here, Vince. Thanks for having me. A couple thoughts. I think the boys are flying around out there. They're riding really hard. But I think we're getting after it a little too hard offensively. Shooting the ball a little too quickly. I think we got to hold our possessions a little more. We're playing a lot of defense.
Right, especially on the after we make a big stop on defense and into the clear. So Quincy, we played together last year, not too long ago, right? You didn't forget about that. You didn't forget about your old buddy Vince, right? But you had 18 points your senior year, pretty dominant on the midfield line. You were team captain 2021. We just have a couple questions for you real quick, just so we can keep it alive here at halftime. People don't fall asleep in the intermission. So first question, what was your greatest memory for Air Force Lacrosse playing for the team and stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question, Vince. And definitely had a lot of great memories through the years. I got to play with my older brother, Griffin, class of 2020, which was awesome, and also my younger brother, Gavin, who's class of 2023. So definitely had some great memories with them. The top one is probably beating Duke in 2020. We ended up winning 14-13. It was a tight game, good comeback by us, and it was nice to beat a nationally ranked opponent and do it with the boys.
Yeah, it was a pretty good win for us that year. Unfortunately, I was suspended for that game due to unforeseen circumstances. But anyways, on to the next question. Kind of more of a lighthearted question. Maybe you can joke around a little bit, keep it cool. Who on the team, I know you don't have a sister, you have 3 brothers, but who on the team, if you had a sister, would you not let date your sister?
And we're talking current team?
Current team.
Current team.
I guess you can give an answer for somebody that was on the team last year if that would change things too.
Okay. Current team, I'd probably have to go with number 12, Tommy Hellman. You know, he's just an absolute menace in the streets. I don't know any girls that he's not talking to. I don't know if I'd want my daughter or sister, you know, snuggling up close with him at night. But I would say another guy, class of 2020, George Rittenhouse. You know, he's just a powerhouse.
I think for the people that know George Rittenhouse, they'd probably agree with you on that one.
Yeah, they call him the pig back home.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah, that checks out. But, okay, so a little bit more on a serious note. So you graduated last year. You're out in L.A. living with Maddie Porkchop O'Rourke. So how's life been after the academy?
Life's been awesome. Living in Los Angeles with one of my ex-teammates and great friends, Matt, has been awesome. You know, you can't really beat the sunshine and the beach being right there, right outside your door. It's been awesome, and there's also a few other Aflax guys out there. Chris Walsh, 2018 grad. Nick Ruby, 2018 grad. So it's been great to reconnect with those guys and build those relationships. Been playing a bit of golf lately, you know. But I would say my relationships from Air Force Lacrosse have really helped carry me into the next stage of my life. And it's something that I look forward to keep doing, and especially with these younger guys. Hopefully some of them get stationed out in L.A.
Yeah, so that's a great point you make. The alumni program here is really great with Air Force Lacrosse. But then one really quick question. Who do you think is the best peen?
Wow.
Out of all 4 of you guys? And
The best
I'm
peen.
being unbiased, being yourself. Who do you think takes it?
The best peen, huh? I think I'm gonna have to go with Big Griff, older bro. You know, he had a great career after.
Yeah, and he got drafted.
Yeah, he got
Wow.
drafted by the Denver Outlaws, one of the best Major League Lacrosse teams.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Major League Lacrosse is no longer a thing. But yeah.
He still got drafted. That's pretty cool. Well, all right. Thanks for coming in, Quincy. We loved having you here. We look for explosive second half here by the Air Force Falcons, trailing by 1 at halftime. Thanks for coming in, Quincy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm gonna shout out my grandma real quick. I know she's watching. Happy Easter, Grandma. Tina Peen, I love you. Hope you're doing well at home. All right, thanks, folks.
Welcome back to Falcon Stadium here at the United States Air Force Academy. The Cleveland State Vikings with a surprising 5-4 lead. It started off with Air Force getting the first 3 goals of the game. Here is Brandon Dodd with his first of 2. Now watch the great play in the net from Jason Rose. He made 2 great saves there in the first half, and Air Force was able to capitalize on that. As once again Brandon Dodd goes back to work, and then an errant pass by Jason Rose leads to the first score of the game for Cleveland State. That came off the stick of Adam Clark. He liked it so much he was going to do it again, and that made the score at that point 3-2. Air Force scoring the first 3, and then Cleveland State coming back with the next 3. Number 24 deciding he wants to get into the scoring parade, and that is Gavin Peen. Now here is the go-ahead goal, and this was by Derek Radke. That's where we stand, 5-4. Observations from the first half, Vincent.
Yeah, it looked like some sloppy play by Air Force. You know, we're in here at 11 turnovers in one half. That is not ideal. You look for the Falcons to be more poised in the second half. Just like I said in the beginning, Brandon Dodd, I have a good feeling he's like the quarterback of our offense. He's going to grab the ball and settle down, tell the guys to take a deep breath, and just starting a half off hot. Brian Michael, bang! Live action.
There you go. Brian Michael puts the game at a 5-5 tie.
And who else but a Long Island guy? He might have snuck it by 5-hole on him too. That's what you want from the Air Force Falcons to start off. But yeah, just like I said, just sloppy play in the clear and stuff like that. Very good 6v6 defense and unsettled, a little difficult, but that's what you want to see from us here, starting off hot.
Brian Michael, who normally handles the face-off for Air Force, and that, I believe, is his first goal of the season. How about that?
That's right. He's still he got away from those ugly black cleats that he used to wear. Or I'm not sure. Oh no, sorry. We have Braden Gabe out here now. Brian Michael catching a win.
5-5 is the score, and do we have a face-off violation? Looks like it will go to Air Force. Well, it's time for the Falcons if they're going to stay in the hunt in this ASUN conference. Time for them to start putting on the burn and start making a run. They had a 3-0 run, as we mentioned earlier, in the first half, and Cleveland State was able to cover that. So now we have a 5-5 game just underway in the third period. I'm Jeffrey Orman along with Vince Lombardi. And nice interview. That had to be fun.
That was a lot of fun sitting up here with Quincy. A great buddy of mine, one of my best friends. Playing with him was a ton of fun. Just a guy that would bring absolute electricity on the lacrosse field, and he's another guy that has that poise and that settling factor on a team too. He could take control of games just himself. So that was a lot of fun.
Ground ball, and then Cleveland State in possession. They try to fire a long distance shot, but Rose is right there. Reset the clock. Air Force will come up the right side of the field, heading towards that south goal. That one was a little high.
A sky whammy by Brendan Krause. Interesting to see that one.
Take a look at some
so sometimes they call that a possession shot. So if you shoot the ball just completely out of reach of the goalie just to make sure that we get the backup, they call that a possession shot. And not surprised to see that, one of those from Brendan Krause.
And here comes Gavin Peen trying to circle around. What do they have to do from what you're seeing, Vince? We might get an answer right here. Is that one knocked loose?
I think we're seeing a lot of opportunities, but just like you said, that goalie, Cameron Logan, he's standing on his head for them a little bit down there. Let's see, he's got about 10 saves already, and you talk about Jason Rose being the defensive player. He had 11 saves last week, so for him to have 10 saves already in one half of lacrosse, pretty good. He's playing pretty well for them.
Extremely well, and could be a factor in the game. Now looks like we might have a substitution coming in for Air Force. Looks like 56, Wes Peen coming in. So Let's see how Air Force will work it around here as we're about 2 minutes into this, 2 minutes and change into this third period. This is the only period this year, and we just had a goal.
Brandon Dodd with the hat trick, heating up faster than a junkie spoon out there. He's just crushing it. That's his third unassisted, and I don't know if all three of his goals have been different. I think it's just that lefty leaner, just boom, tucks it in.
Yep.
Tucks that ball to sleep.
Fired it from the port side spot.
Brandon Dodd.
And I think, yeah, one more year to go.
That's right. Guy from Utah out there in the fields of Utah. Just a unit.
Brendan Krause will graduate. He'll be tossing his cap on the 25th of next month.
That's right. Great. One of the best feelings in the world.
It has to be. It has to be. And, of course, it'll be right here at Falcon Stadium, here at the United States Air Force Academy. I had the privilege of attending a graduation, and even if you didn't go to school here, you still get emotional when they make that march out of that north end of that tunnel. That's just got to, you know, just even thinking about it right now, if you don't get a little precipitation in the eyes,
I don't think you're human.
Exactly right. I second that 100%. Falcons leading it right now. Let's hope the precipitation in the eyes will be in the eyes of the Vikings right now. It's been a tight match so far, and Air Force says enough of that foolishness. This ball knocked away again by Logan.
And he loves seeing Wes Peen, number 56. He's starting to really establish himself and use his body. Like he's such a big dude that it's really hard to stop him running in there, as you saw him in that first take. He didn't get the finish, but, man, he is just dominant.
Well, the door's clearing it. I'll tell you one thing. If the Vikings, you certainly, well, we don't want to, you know, the Vikings, the story of their game, I think, has been the play of Cameron Logan. He's just been just a wall in there.
And he has 12 saves now. He's already racked up 2 since I was talking about it last time. So, yeah, he's playing electric for them. And you look for shots to start to drop for Air Force. I mean, the opportunities are there so far. We maybe just not finishing it as well as normal.
He's a senior. He's Cameron Logan, 255-pounder. They try to go low on him, and this time they score.
A little worm burner.
Yes,
over there.
sir.
You're holding 50,000 volts, little man. Don't be afraid to ride the lightning, and he did.
That's Aiden Tolan who gave him the little ground ball effort. Aiden with his 13th goal of the year, and the Falcons up by 2 by the score of 7-5.
Looks like Air Force taking a little bit more control here in the second half.
Well, the assistant coach sure loved it. So look at Air Force Academy Falcons just prior to the game today, just before we had the playing of our national anthem. Always a very special moment here at the United States Air Force Academy. We talked about the graduation, and
looks like it's going to be a little offsides on Air Force there. Yep, not surprised.
it'll be about a
Quick
30-second call, yeah. So this will be, I believe, the third time that the Vikings will go a man up. They're so far 0 for 2 on the day.
Well, it looks like it was just a play on. Since we had possession of the ball, it's not going to be a penalty. But if they had possession of the ball and we went offsides, then it's a penalty. So it looks like they just get the opportunity there. They just get a play on. So they get the ball right back.
So we'll call an as you were on that, and the Vikings going wide on that. So I think right now, if you're Air Force, a 2-goal lead means nothing. I mean, they'd like to pump that up to 5, 6. I'd like to really turn it loose. One thing I was going to mention before Air Force scored to get their first score of the third period, as there is a shot, and there's Rose again. Air Force has outscored their opponents, Vincent, in every period except the third.
Really?
That is correct.
Wow. Well, it looks like we changed things around today.
A little bit, because right now at 7-5, this is the only period that they've been outscored. They've been able to. I think last year, as I recall, Vincent, the fourth quarter kind of gave you problems, was it not last year?
Yes, definitely finishing games was tough last year.
Here's Peen.
And in the beginning of that possession, you saw Brandon Dodd get the ball, and just like I said, he's going to control it. He's going to settle things down. He's going to get the offense going for us here.
About 39 seconds on the shot clock.
Aiden Tolan winds up, lets one loose. Looks like we're going to have Griffith here behind the net, start things off.
Let's see how much time we have on that shot clock. 33 seconds and counting. Let's get the, and now the Falcons starting to get a little more frisky back there.
Little 2v2 action, Aiden Tolan and Brandon Dodd. Not much going there for him. Here's Brandon Dodd.
Turns a wrap around. Oh, that was pretty.
Woo! Got a gun in your waist. Please don't shoot up the place. Brandon Dodd, Big Papa. Hammering one home, his fourth. Unassisted again.
Boy, that was a nice wraparound, too. I mean, you want it from the port side, you want it from the starboard. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, he's left, right, and bang, right there.
That's right. Nifty little lacrosse player right there from Utah.
Brandon Dodd.
The game he had his freshman year against Duke, when Quincy was just talking about that, one of his greatest memories, he said. He's just started off hot in his Division I career and has not really tailored off.
11-4 face-off, now make it 12-4 in favor of Air Force as they come on the run. Keep that burn on there, boys. You know, just.
Yeah, that's right. And you look at that guy who picked up the ground ball there, Chris Bardak. He's a guy that, like, he's another guy that's the first guy in, last guy out type of guy. And his motor is just crazy. You just see him go on the field. He doesn't stop. And he's the guy that I was talking about that plays short stick, defensive midi, and long stick. He does whatever you need for the team.
Cleveland State, after that little scrum to the right side of the goal. Cleveland State trying to, they've been down this road before. They've had 3 straight goals scored on them. And you say, well, you know, we know what to do.
That's right.
But now, probably playing a lot better than a 3-7 team would indicate. And this has been a tougher match, folks. I mean, I think a lot of people looking at this, if you were just to look at the stats and the records and you think, oh, Air Force might have an easy. No. Matter of fact, the last 2 games we've had here on Falcon Vision, they've been anything but easy.
And interesting to see still no Ryan Haig out there for Cleveland State, the leading goal scorer coming into this game. So interesting, maybe an injury he's battling with, or maybe he wasn't the guy today.
Jason Sullivan, here's Clark. He's got 2 on the day, and now the Air Force knows that, and that ball is knocked away. And it'll be retrieved by Jason Sullivan out of Orlando, Florida. Look at that defense by Air Force, man. You move, I'm just leaning on you, bud.
That's that guy I'm talking about, Chris Bardak. He's a good go-to guy right there.
Okay, here comes Air Force up the field.
Looks like a fast break opportunity. Cole Grimberg seeing his opportunity. Brandon Dodd, nice save.
Save.
Logan is really standing on his head today. You got to give it to him. I think that this game could be out of reach for Cleveland State if it was not for Logan in that game.
I tend to agree. He's made some plays. He has made some plays.
Looks like he's got some lettuce coming out of the back of that helmet, maybe helping him out a little bit. He's probably not going to cut that hair for a while if he keeps having games like this.
Well, they have used 4 goalies this season, has Cleveland State. And
they might have found their guy.
Well, that's their main man. There's no question about that. And he has really, here's Radke. He has a goal to his credit today. Air Force looking like they're extending that defense a little bit. Subtleties that you might be saying, Vince, as far as the defensive side, well, they try to penetrate and they fire and they score. No, or do they? No, I think Rose saved it. It looked like almost a point-blank shot that went where they did not score.
Yeah, Tommy Hellman comes up with the ground ball there, gets it out right quick. No opportunity for them to ride the ball back. And now we have 6-6 offense. Settle down. See Max Griffith back there taking control, get some possession time, give their defense a little bit of a breather. You love to see it.
Let's see if that 66 can get another goal for them, as they will just work outside the perimeter with the carry. That's
and looks like a flag down on Cleveland State bench.
Okay. We'll wait and see if we can get a indication of what that might be. I'm looking at the official down there, and I can't see what he is calling. The flag is right by his feet there. Now we'll get the indication, and it's on Cleveland State, as you said. But are we getting a... I didn't see a signal if it's a 1 or a 30. Okay, it's an offsides, and apparently it's a 30-second call, if I read that official correctly. Is that how you saw it?
Yes, that's how I saw it, too. Let's see if it populates that way down there on the Cleveland State side.
All right, so for the first time today, Air Force will have a man-up advantage.
Yes, 30 seconds on number 17. Looks like an offsides.
That will be on Amiri Austin. Falcons with a man-up have scored 12 goals this season, 12-7. And as far as the man-up opportunities, we're 48. The Falcons are 48% in that category.
And a mishandled pass there by Max Griffith. Quick turnover by Air Force early, 15 seconds into the penalty. Not what you want from Air Force.
Falcons trying to take advantage. Substitutions being made. We got bodies all over the place. And Cleveland State more than likely will probably burn off this 30-second period, or 30-second penalty rather. There's Gannon Matthews trying to get something going. Falcons down at the half, 5-4. This has been their longest run of the match so far, as Falcons have outscored Cleveland State by the score of by a 4-0 run.
Air Force defense pretty impressive today, 6v6. Only 5 goals let up so far, probably about three of them in unsettled opportunities, only 2 really earned by Cleveland State. So playing fairly well. Jason Rhodes obviously playing great as well.
Yep. And you need it from everybody, don't you, at this time of the year. Here's a shot, and there's a score. That broke the ice a little bit.
That did.
And
as soon as I speak, I eat my words.
I think it's Ian McKissick, I think. Yep, it's Ian McKissick. That's who right. Gets it. Well, now it's getting close again.
That's right. They smell blood in the water. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. About 2:45 left here in the third quarter, 8-6, Falcons lead.
Ian McKissick with his 3rd goal of the 2022 campaign.
And we see Braden Gabe out at the faceoff X again. I wonder if B. Mikes is battling an injury or something like that out there, because he's done fairly well for the Falcons today.
Connor Zwegerman now with a pickup on the ball. And again, the Vikings playing a fairly patient offense. Derek Radke, we've already talked about him today.
That's right, and we've seen Clark early, and they're sharing the wealth a little bit. Clark with the first 2, Held had 1, Matthews found the sheet, Radke, and then McKissick with that last one. So they are sharing the wealth for sure on the Cleveland State side.
And they're playing a very patient offense as well. As you see the time remaining in period number 3, less than 2 minutes. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. And Clark being double teamed. They've seen his act before.
And a caused turnover by Christian Marshall, number 42.
And here we come on the carry.
And good choice there to just pull it out. And there's Kraus. Nice take.
A lot of traffic on that right side. And they're saying to reset the shot clock, I think, if I read that official correctly. Now the goal has been vacated. Oh, if Air Force can get a turnover there.
Short time here for them to get it over, about 5 seconds.
And that's a nice move there by Long Stick. A nice shot blocked by Rose. That was Carson Berkey who let fly. You get a good look at the Air Force sideline there.
And Air Force chases that one out, steals a possession back.
Well, I'll tell you what, it has been, I guess it would be safe to say, a bit of a defensive struggle today. A fairly low-scoring affair, obviously. The two goaltenders, Jason Rose for Air Force and Cameron Logan for Cleveland State, have played big.
13 saves for Logan. Having himself a day, even though they trail by 2.
So let's see how the Falcons will play the last 31 seconds.
It looks like they're going to take the advantage of this and have the last possession here. Look to them to go around 15 to 12 seconds, initiate.
Let's see how
here
it
they
works
start
out.
off. Brandon Dodd. That's the guy you want with the ball right there.
Absolutely. I'm keeping my eyes on the goalie. I'll tell you what, Brendan getting a lot of attention out there. It was a double team. I think he wanted a call. He kind of put his hands up a little bit. I'm not sure if that was for the official or for one of his teammates saying, hey, guys, we got to do something. Well, anyway, we've gone 3 periods of the way, and it's 8-6 in favor of Air Force against the Cleveland State Vikings. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse. This is Falcon Vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. 8-6 Air Force. Don't go anywhere too soon. You know, you might want to put those phones on Do Not Disturb because we got live action here. We got some hot lacrosse here at Falcon Stadium.
Yeah. Easter Sunday being tomorrow, you tell them I'll call you back at the end of the match. I'll tell you back at the end of the game. It's too big.
That's right. I know we got a good crew listening down in Del Rio at pilot training. You fellas have yourselves a day down there. Don't go anywhere too soon. We got a whole 4th quarter here.
All right, here we go. 4th and final quarter. You see the score. And here's that always important face-off. Ball is loose. Cleveland State comes up with it.
Brian Michael, relentless to get that. And then we're going to see a trip call.
I didn't see a flag, but if that is a trip, that'll be 1 minute in the, what do they call it, the sin bin there, down there, the penalty box?
Yeah, I've spent my fair share in there, sitting out a knee, and you know, you can't do anything about that there. That was blatantly a trip. All you do is you jog over to the penalty box, you take a knee, you put your stick on your shoulder, and then our trainer Gene or our equipment guy Jason will hand you water. You take a squirt, and you just got to soak that one. Hope the defense comes up with a stop.
And you don't make eye contact with the coach either.
No, you do not. Listen, I know it all too well.
All right, so let's see how Cleveland State will react to this with a man-up opportunity. They are 0 for 3 in that department. Sometimes it's not when you get the man up. I mean,
nice save.
Great
Door
play
stop.
by Rose.
Not you, fat Jesus. Not up in here.
Yeah. See the time remaining on the penalty.
Woo!
Nice spin move. Oh, pardon me.
Nifty little roll by Tommy Hellman.
Tommy's made some plays out here today.
Yeah, he's definitely putting on a show for us. He knows he knows what he was doing there. He necessarily was doing that to get around the guy, but he wanted to show some razzle-dazzle for everyone when they watch this in the film room. Be like, hey, guys, look at me.
Which brings up the question, Vince. I have to ask this: when you're watching film, how much chop busting goes on when you're watching film?
Oh, I mean, there's not really much. So you make a good play out there, and right, you say maybe you de-twig a guy, you take a guy's stick out of their hands in a game, and then you're in the film room and you get done with film and you're like, wait, I didn't see that play, and you don't focus on the good stuff. You just get chewed out a little bit, and you just gotta soak it. You just gotta eat it all up. You're gonna hear everything. Everything bad you did.
I think when you make a nice spin move, some guy says, "You've never done that before. What's wrong with you?" I mean,
That's right.
He's being out there by the 30, who drops the ball, and did that just come out of the pocket? But anyway, here comes Cleveland State. Here's a shot. Knocked away, and it looks like a long rebound, so to speak. Getting physical out there now. I thought we'd see a flag there in that little do-si-do.
Looks like they're going to call a play on. They're going to call that in the Air Force favor. And that was Reggie Ragala, number 26 on Cleveland State defense. A nifty little check there. Pretty impressive. Take to yard sale a guy, take the guy's stick out of his hands, and have him with his palms up, feeling the rain.
All right, here's an opportunity for the Air Force Academy to go up by 3. That one is right in front of the crease. Is it going to count? Waiting for the official.
Looks like they're going
to talk about it. Was it in the crease? No goal. No goal.
They're going to call no goal, but there's a penalty down for getting pushed into the arc from behind.
Okay. So that'll be 1 minute. Yeah, that should go against Cleveland State. Let's see who was the recipient of that. That is was that a 31 for us?
Yes, that was Max Griffith. And interesting to see, because with the new rules here, you cannot land in the crease. No matter what, if you land in that arc inside the crease, the goalie's arc, even if you got pushed there, it wasn't on your own doing. If you score and you land in there, it's still going to be no goal. You will get the possession back. You'll get a penalty, a man-up opportunity, and it looks like that's what's happening now for Air Force. But no matter what, just for the protection of the goalies, they're not going to count that goal.
And that is a change.
Right, this is the second year that it's been around.
I think you're right, yeah.
And it honestly is a good thing to protect the goalies. You don't want to have 185 pounds diving at your kneecaps all game long. So not necessarily the worst thing for lacrosse, but.
All right, let's see if the Falcons can take advantage here. You see the time remaining on the man-up opportunity. We've already told you that Falcons are about 48% when they get that advantage.
Nifty little inside move, shot goal. Brendan to Brandon.
Well, we got the Brandon show kicking into gear, I think, here. That was Brendan Krause who I think got that one. That's his first one of the game.
And that's just routine right there.
Nice pass. Well, they just worked that one really, really well.
Brandon Dodd with his 5th point of the game so far.
And they'll take that.
Heating up.
35th goal of the year for Brendan Krause.
Brendan Krause really stepped it on this year as opposed to last year. He really just started finding the back of the net a lot more. Looks like he put a lot of time and effort into his shot. Back last year, we used to give him a hard time for how many times he would sail the ball over the net.
That goes back to the chop-busting video, I guess, right?
And here's Brandon Dodd settling things down for Air Force.
Biggest lead for Air Force has been a 4-goal margin, and for Cleveland State, they had a 5-4 lead at the intermission. And the Falcons would love to extend it and keep extending as they try to work.
And it looks like we had too many guys on there. We had 7 guys, and Coach Wilson's going to call a quick timeout so that they didn't catch that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So you see 6 guys running off right now, and someone just ran into the box. And Coach Wilson, that's an excellent. See, we were definitely offsides. We had 2 defensive guys and a goalie running off. That was a great timeout by Coach Wilson.
So while we do a head count, we'll take a timeout with Air Force leading it by the score of 9-6. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse. This is Falcon Vision. Falcons with a 3-goal lead. A good timeout was called, Vince, as you mentioned, as people running around going, okay, do I have this many, well, whatever it was. Bill Wilson saw that, said, bing, let's call a timeout.
That's right, and you love when you get one past the refs, especially with here in Colorado Springs. We may not get every call, but you love when you sneak one past the refs.
Yeah, that would have been a 30-second sit down. So anyway, here come the Falcons on the attack. Oh, sweet move there, and there's a shot which goes awry as Dante Orlando.
Just an absolute howitzer by Dante Orlando. I don't know if they got a speed clock down there. That might have clocked in around 100 miles an hour.
Let's see, the Falcons will try to get something here. Another save by Logan as he knocks it awry into the right corner of the end zone, of the north end zone.
Brandon Dodd and Dante Orlando looking to set something up behind there, a little two-man game.
Let's see what Dante can do. Falcons just working that ball around.
Brandon
Dodd, a shot and a score.
Making it look easy.
I'm telling you.
He just, I think he's got a subscription to IJustFlatOutStingCorners.com. It's just nuts. How is he? That is just unhumane.
5 goals for him. That's half of the scoring. Watch this move.
My goodness. That's live action. We got live action.
There you go. Brandon Dodd.
Another unassisted by him. He's just putting the team on his back over here.
6'3" and 220 pounds. As the Falcons once again get up to a 4-goal lead.
Chris Bardak heavy on the ball. You're not going to catch a break with him on the ball. He will never take it easy on you.
Most physical player on this team, who do you think it is?
Most physical player?
Yeah, a guy who likes to just bash you. I mean,
I'm going to have to give it to number 21 down there at close defense, Caden Wolfson. He's a guy coming back from a knee injury,
yep,
just like me, and he just lays lumber and lays the body down there.
Caden has also been our color commentator. I had a chance to meet him last year, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
Yep.
Back when he was injured.
Well, I'll tell you what, there has been some, as I say, physicality going on down in this match.
But as far as finesse guys, you got Chastain and Carlisle down there too. Man, it's just, they make some of these attackmen, they take the ball away from them. They're 5 yards upfield, and the attackmen are still wondering what's going on and what just happened. They just got violated.
Well, the Falcons would like to keep turning it on right here. They have an opportunity. There's a shot from the port side. That's not, it's going to go out of play, and just watching the referee, I believe that comes back to Air Force.
Brendan Crouch just unleashing anger with that shot. I'm not sure I've ever seen him shoot the ball that fast, but he's got some bottled up rage or something.
Well, the Falcons would like to get a few more in the basket here. Little spin move, and yeah, there you go. Give it to that guy.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's all right. Logan making another good play for the Vikings. I really like that guy. He will graduate.
Well.
Yeah, he'll graduate, so they'll hold auditions, obviously, next year.
Aiden Tolan doing a good job back there, keeping his eyes up, but looks like Cleveland State had an answer for that.
They did, and falling right on top of it, once again, Cameron Logan.
We'll see Cleveland State.
Still a lot of time in this game. Falcons currently in 3rd place in the ASUN Conference. And right now, they just want to finish this one off and get ready for Robert Morris. And that ought to be a heck of a match. Of course, you're playing Robert Morris on the road, but as we told you at the top of the broadcast, Falcons are 4-3 on the road. Here they try to cut the lead. Well, I thought he was going to try to cut the lead. Rose coming out, better get back there. There he does there.
And there's Q Carla. Oh, that's That's a call that I do not like at all, but we're just going to have to let that one go, let bygones be bygones. But
Let's see what
man,
we have.
it looks like he just called him for a hold without possession, so that's why he didn't throw a penalty down. But, man, he took that ball away from him, made it look easy.
Derek Radke was the gentleman in question.
Looks like we're going to get an interference call. And no, they're not going to give it to him.
I'll tell you what, as we mentioned before, Vince, the officiating crew has pretty much swallowed the whistle today. They've just let him go. And I think fans and players and people like me, we like that. Just let him go. I mean, unless it's flagrant.
That's right. Rose there was a little frustrated because there was a guy in front of him. And if he follows through with a pass and hits one of the offensive guys in front of him, that's actually an interference call. So maybe a missed call there. Not sure what the stripes had on that one, but he looked a little frustrated after that.
Cleveland State trying to cut this thing down to a 3-goal advantage. They've had one lead today, and that was just before the intermission at 5-4. Here's a shot. Rose knocks it away. Should be Cleveland State's ball, and 39 on the shot clock.
Christian Marshall here behind the net. Here's number 23, Jason Sullivan. Jason Sullivan playing with Austin back there, number 17. And
he
looks
falls
like he
down.
tripped on his feet there a little bit. Christian Marshall will come up with that possession. Dump it off to Caden Wolfson here. We see him. He's not a guy that goes coast to coast too often. You see him settling down. Chris Bardak!
And that goes wide.
Chris Bardak, 4 goals on the season. Love to see it from him. He let that one go. He's got the green light for sure in the fast break.
I think right now another goal for Air Force would be just about what they need. I mean, right now, Cleveland State, they're 4 down. And I think we're having a timeout called. Did I see that
That's right.
correctly?
You
And
did.
we'll take one as well. Under 7 minutes left to go in the game between Air Force and Cleveland State. You see the score, Falcons on top by 4. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse. This is Falcon Vision.
Air Force settling in here with a possession with about 65 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time to settle in, hammer one home.
I think right now, we talked about at the break, if Air Force can score, and that one,
looks like we're going to get a fresh shot clock there in another 60 seconds.
we're talking at the break that if the Falcons could get one more right now, that might be very, very crucial. There's a shot that I think was partially blocked. There's a knockdown.
And that's
Air
going to
Force
be
coming
locked
up.
in. That was up high in the helmet. That should be locked into the box.
That should be a 60-second.
Should be 60 or maybe even a 2-minute locked in full serve the full time, because that was dangerous. And I don't know if we're going to get another look at it here, but I mean, that was up in the head. His hands were not together.
Let's see if we can catch this. Woof.
And that's easily, for me, if I'm Stripes, I'm locking him in for 2 minutes. He has to serve the full time.
Let's see. Here comes the official. He's going to tell us.
And if he puts his hands together at the top, that means that he's locked.
Okay,
And,
unnecessary roughness.
and that's locked in right there. He's going
Okay.
to serve full time. Not sure if
Non-releasable.
he had 2 minutes, though.
Let's see, who? Did you get the number? I was trying to get the number on that, and I didn't know if that was a single digit or.
I'm not oh, down there in the serving the
Yeah,
box?
yeah.
49?
Okay, it's a 49.
Or 48, sorry. Nick
48.
Polydoris.
Yep.
Getting a little overzealous with that one. And well, okay, so only 1 minute they gave him.
All right.
That's surprising. But
Well, let's see if the Falcons can take advantage of that.
that's not the shot that you want in a non-releasable penalty.
Yeah, you need to go for a kill shot right now, I would think. Try and wrap this thing up because Cleveland State fighting 2 battles right now. They're down by 4 goals and they're fighting the clock. And they also have a man down. About 26 seconds left to go in his
And looks like a
punishment.
failure to clear there. And Air Force will get a second opportunity here. 20 seconds left on the clock. On the shot. Sorry, on the penalty.
Shot clock, I think, is at
70 seconds, yep. So plenty of time to settle in, eat up some more of that clock that you just talked about they're facing.
exactly right. Time is kind of on the side for the Falcons right now. Sure would like to see him get another goal, though. I think Coach Wilson and everybody else would like to see the same thing.
I'd have to agree.
We have a nice crowd on hands, about 45 degrees at face-off time. Wind was blowing, so you know that's probably put it in the 30s. And the Falcons right now looking for win number 7. There's a shot. That one goes wide. And it will be Falcon ball.
Brandon Dodd let that one go.
I don't think the Falcons quite ready to breathe yet, but there it is. There it is.
Yeah, he's not missing 2 of those in a row. He's going to let that go for his double hat trick right there. Brandon Dodd, just a man possessed today.
Now he would certainly get the vote for the offensive player of the game. There's no question about that.
I'm going to have to agree on that one. Not much
Not-
putback that I can give you.
No debate there, right? I mean, my gosh. Brandon Dodd, he knows what's on the table, and he has responded accordingly. We've talked so much about him today. Let's see, that's goal number 6. That gives him 38 on the year.
They may not have given him breakfast this morning because he just looks so hungry out there. And he is eating up the net for sure.
Oh, he'll love that. He'll love that. My former teammate is. So the Falcons, with a 5-goal lead, 4:34 left to go in the game, and still want to play it out. You don't. The first half, as you mentioned, Vince, as you mentioned in the first half, a little bit on the sloppy side, but once the Falcons were able to tie it up, they just roared. I mean, they've outscored Cleveland State 6-1 in this half.
Right.
That's just been tremendous. Great defense. And, of course, when you give it to number 45, all's right with the world. At least it has been today. Why not get a 7th?
You know, when I think after that last goal, I saw the Cleveland State head coach say to his assistants, with Brandon Dodd swimming in the waters, they're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah. You're going to need a bigger boat, Captain. Here comes Cleveland State.
And there's Jason Rose.
How about that? And he says, pardon me, let me step out and make a grab here. You guys are talking about the offense. Let me show you what I can do here. Whoa, we've
That's
already
right.
seen that.
He's
so.
like, quit yapping about that offense. I'm down here grinding.
Yeah, it's cold down here. And I think Jason has another year here.
He does. That he does. He's a hell of a ball player, but he really stepped it on. Last year he took over about halfway through the season for Braden Host, so I got to play a good chunk of change with him playing lacrosse, and he is a vocal guy, and you love to have him behind you. And there's Chase Douglas, the senior, out of Denver.
Right,
And
right now, the Falcons would just play out the last 2:37 unless they can get another goal.
and how about another from Brandon Dodd?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Let's just keep these pens going. I've written down
Yeah.
Dodd about enough times than I wanted to today. No, of course, I love writing down Brandon Dodd's name every time. He just unleashing anger on this net.
And you know, Vincent, he has 7 on the day, 5 of them in this half. 5.
He just isn't stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. He should eat well tonight. Give him whatever he wants, you know?
He might be full from all the goal scoring. I
Yeah,
don't know.
really, really. He said, I've had my fill here, passing along to somebody else. What a day. And we got all sorts of traffic running in and out for both teams right now. Checking, it looks like Tommy Helm. You know, Tommy, we've talked about him today. Kind of one of the guys that does a little bit of the dirty work. Would that be a fair assessment?
Oh, that's very fair. You know, I'm pretty sure he in the back of his car, he actually keeps some extra turf pellets. He goes out there the morning of, just sprinkles them along wherever he sees some patches. He's very familiar with the ground crew out there. Yeah, he's just a guy that does everything, you know. He painted the lines, as I said. We saw that AF up in there in the middle at the face-off X, getting a little black, so he kind of polished it up a little bit, got some more blue and white in there. He checks the decals on the helmets at halftime, making sure everybody's got their stickers on, replace them if they need them. He's just a guy that does everything.
Trying to get a consolation goal as Cleveland. And Tommy, by the way, will have another year here. He'll be a first-classman next year.
That's right.
Which makes me think, Vince, that this junior class, soon to be first-classman, this could be a nice group for next year. But I think right now Bill Wilson would like to get them to the postseason so they can all get a taste and see what it's like.
Right, and things look promising this year for a conference championship. You'd love to see their first year in the ASUN just take control and dominate and get that first win.
Here is a shot on the way, and
it's going to be an N1. It's like, is that 23 down there?
Let's see if they got
Jason
one.
Sullivan.
I'm trying to watch the net. Did that get past him? Yes, it did. And doing the lovely pratfall, number 23, that's Jason Sullivan. He's one of the leading scorers, and he finally gets on the board here, makes it 12-7.
And there was Caden Wolfson laying the lumber. He made him earn that shot right there. So, you know, that's not the worst thing that you want to see, because when he turns that corner and he shoots and scores that goal and he pays for it, he's going to think about it twice the next time he turns that corner. He's going to be like, am I going to get crushed?
Well, I'm wondering here, because they have not changed the score yet. It's academic at this point. The Falcons are going to win this, and they will head for Robert Morris next weekend. So I guess
Right, interesting the call. I thought I saw the ball going
inside the
back
crease,
of the net.
maybe? I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure.
Well, anyway, Falcons will win it. And
there's number 8. He finally found the stat sheet today. There's Ryan Haig, the leading goal scorer coming into this game. I was curious when we were going to see his name. It took him about almost the whole game, minute left, but he sure did it.
So that makes it a little easier, as Ryan Haig out of Toronto, Canada.
The Canadian, eh?
That's exactly right. Which I understand. I have been told, you know, when you think of Canada, you think the national game is hockey. No, apparently it's lacrosse. They are very big on lacrosse up in.
And they play box lacrosse up there. I played box lacrosse for my fair share in high school as well. We actually I played for Team USA Juniors. We beat up on Quebec a little bit. That's the only Canadian team we played. But yeah, they like to play box lacrosse, which is actually in a hockey rink, so it's a lot smaller, a lot condensed.
All right, they've now made so the last two the goal that we thought waved off was counted, so it's actually 12-8. But who cares at this point? It's a Falcon victory, and Falcons will go 7-5, hit the road, and 2 more games left to go. Their final home game of the year will be in 2 weeks.
And a little late in the game to see this much energy from Cleveland State. You would have liked to see this a couple minutes ago, or at least to start the fourth quarter. It looks like quick up and out by Jason Rose. Nice save there to Chris Bardak. And they'll probably just kill this one.
And that is going to do it. The Air Force Academy Falcons.
Falcons win.
Yes, they do. And they go to 7-5 on the year. And they win it by the score of 12-8. The first half, a little tricky. Cleveland State leading at 5-4, but then in the second half, the Falcons just cut it loose, and they win it by the score of 12-8. We'll take a look at the highlights when we come back right after this. You're watching Air Force Lacrosse. This is Falcon Vision.